IVM.
All right, hello, welcome to Football Twaddle. We had a lot of false starts even trying to get the recording going today, but it's finally happening. Yash, what's up, my man?
Hey man, just relieved to start.
Yes, finally. Oh God, we took 4 hours to start a recording a half an hour podcast, but finally it's underway. And let's talk about a few things. First thing is I didn't even realize that there was some Premier League match in which Manchester United beat Brighton 2-0.
Yep.
But before we get to that, did you watch the entire PSG versus Real Madrid game?
Yes, I did. I was watching both games parallelly. Both games meaning not the other Champions League, of course, but the United game and PSG Real.
Man, I got so bored with this PSG Real game. At like minute 55, 60, I said enough and I went to sleep. It was just like, it was not a very good match.
But the reason for that is pretty obvious.
What is it?
The cancellation of the away goals rule in the Champions League. It's so this is practically it was a match where Real Madrid, who are supposedly the weaker team, have no incentive of attacking. So they basically parked the bus.
Yeah, but
And it almost worked out. I mean, Mbappe scored that goal in the dying minutes of the match. And yeah, Real was just parked in their own half. They had very few attacks. I think it is a terrible move by
but
UEFA.
why I don't know, it's been so long, but what was the reason they gave for removing the away goals? Like, I'm sure they had a reasoning for it, right?
No, I mean, of course, their communiques are so nebulous. It was. They felt it. They mentioned that it is unfair for a team to go ahead on literally the same number of goals, and the fact that the extra time, 30 minutes, is always played in obviously the second, the team that is playing at home at second. So there's an imbalance there of whichever way you see it. There is an imbalance.
Okay.
But I genuinely think that maybe it's the big clubs who want the Super League, who have somehow, as a conspiracy, come up with this idea and forced UEFA to do it. Because I think now the Champions League will be pretty boring.
So, okay, PSG won 1-0 through some Mbappe goal. I mean, Messi missed a penalty as well.
Yep.
Wow. How is one of the greatest footballers ever now not able to score from the 12 yards? Like, what?
Dude, he missed that penalty, and in the other game, Ronaldo scored within seconds, and he possibly scored his best goal since his comeback. So somehow the universe links these two. I don't know, but in general, both of them were having such a terrible game.
Really?
That
I know Messi was having a terrible game. I didn't know.
No, even Ronaldo was having a pretty bad game. Like, given that the sport for a decade and a half has been dominated by these two, if ever a documentary maker wanted to make a documentary about them, maybe this would have been the day. Had Ronaldo not scored, this would have been the day he could have, showed these two games parallelly and said, yeah, the Messi Ronaldo era is over. It's done. Like, look at how pathetic these two are now.
Oh, man. Okay, who is the favorite now in the second leg? Okay, fine. PSG won 1-0. Are they the favorites now to go through in this tie?
I think so, because I think there's some...
Wait, what happens if Real Madrid win the game 2-1 in the second leg?
They go to extra time and then penalties if the score remains the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if Real Madrid win 2-1, basically that means overall they score 2 goals each and they go to extra time.
Yep.
So is that still not advantage Real Madrid because they're playing in their home ground or whatever? I don't know.
Possibly. I don't know. No. What I meant was that since the away goal is almost like a plus whatever, the first away goal is always counts twice. That's how you're supposed to measure it. So if the team who's playing away second always has the advantage of scoring an extra away goal.
Oh yeah, okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah, that is also unfair, but whatever. I think we are yet to get used to this, or maybe Real Madrid.
My only complaint is that there were spectacular moments where the game changes completely, where a team that loses immediately jumps to a winning position, which is not going to happen. Now it's going to be, now this team is going to go to extra time. That transition, that complete flip of the tie is not going to happen.
Yeah. I think Real just generally played poor as well. So you can't really complain. I mean, I don't think it's just away goal rule. They had Casemiro still.
No, but frankly speaking, Carlo played to a plan, and had they held on for those extra few seconds, I think the result would have been fantastic for them.
Yeah. In the other game, Manchester City beat Sporting Lisbon, what, 25-0? What's the what's the
It may as well as have been 25-0. Like, I can't
So
understand.
I read in the press conference after the game,
Hmm.
Pep Guardiola is basically saying we reached the Champions League final last year, and if you want to call that a failure, that is your problem. I don't consider it a failure. Do you agree with his line of thought?
I would have had he
Actually,
not.
won a Champions
No,
League
no,
without
no, no.
Messi
He's won 2 Champions League before. That's not the question.
with Messi.
Okay, whatever. But I mean, he had a bunch of superstars, Iniesta, whatever. It is what it is. My point is, had had he not won those 3 Premier Leagues before, the very season, and those 2 Premier Leagues before, which sort of made like the Premier League thing was done and dusted for him.
Hmm.
Which is why this is a failure. This was supposed to be the next step for him, the club, to prove that they're one of the big boys, for Pep to prove like he's like the all-time great or whatever. So that's why in that case it was a failure.
Hmm. You are a very hard man to please, but you watched 2 games in parallel yesterday. One was the United game, the back to winning ways. I saw our favorite Mark Goldbridge. His analysis of the game, he said it's better to win and play dirty than to play well and lose. So I'm assuming United played crap against Brighton but won 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, as I mentioned, Ronaldo was pretty bad, and this was almost like a throwback to the Ole days where United were terrible in the first half, and a couple of good moments in the second half pretty much won them the game. Which is, I mean, Goldbridge has a point because the last 3 games, in fact, if you count the FA Cup, United have been good in the first half, then they concede in the second half, and the game ends a 1-1 draw. So. Whatever. I mean, there has obviously been progression in terms of the way United play. There's been visible improvements that Ralph has brought in, but there is uh, the gulf in the quality that is required to challenge or even comfortably make it top four is present. Like that there and United don't have the time to learn how to play exactly how Ralph wants. So these kind of results are always welcome.
Anyway, it's better. They're in the fourth position now. Somehow, rope it, they've just come to the fourth. So if they just try and maintain distance, because we know Spurs, man, for the first time since 2009, Antonio Conte has lost 3 games in a row.
Ugh.
What does this club do? What's the energy in this club? It
Complete,
brings great men
complete
down.
bottlers, dude. Complete bottlers. I mean that, and it's not like they're playing some of the best opposition in the league. Also, I mean,
Yeah,
Premier League is supposed to be tough for everyone, but man, I mean, those results are terrible. And given that teams around them are dropping points, this was the opportunity for them to like jump into the
yeah.
top four.
I was just seeing English press loves Conte still, right? So they are like the same thing happened with Jose, but yeah, okay, fine. You can say Saru, you're like so biased for Jose. I'm like, okay, fine. So the same thing happened with Nuno. They lost like 2 games. He's not able to inspire the squad and all that bullcrap they wrote. But with
Hmm.
Conte, they're like the players have to adapt to Conte's methods.
What rubbish.
Yeah, dude. I mean, Conte has a huge following of his methods.
Hmm.
So
No, but
yeah,
Spurs deserve to be in the Conference League, man. I mean, they should.
they got out of that. No,
I know they lost, but that's sort of their level. They should appoint the managers, buy the players in accordingly,
no,
like in order
they
to win the Conference League.
they were kicked out of Conference League, so they didn't lose that.
No, no, I'm saying long term, even next season, the season after that, their aim should be to first win the Conference League. They're not going to achieve anything else otherwise.
No, at least try and win Europa. That also you couldn't
Yeah, exactly. So they couldn't do it, right? So step one is Conference League for them. Is what I mean.
do. All right. Before we take a break, our dear club, Newcastle
Mhm.
United,
Mhm.
3 wins in a trot. Can you believe
Man,
it?
yes, I can.
Then now you can. Did you believe this was ever happened like this?
Oh,
Of course, now you believe it. We've already
yes.
won 3. But
Oh,
we won
such
our
so
first game
close.
in December, by the way,
Yes,
to put in context.
yes.
And then December till Feb,
Hmm.
no wins again,
Yeah,
right?
but I mean, with all the the signings that we have made and with the amazing manager that we have signed. I was aware that we're going to win a clutch of games, but three on the trot is truly amazing. It's a different feeling altogether.
So Leeds, Aston Villa, and then who else did we beat before that?
Everton in the cup, I think.
Yeah, no, not cup. League.
Everton in the league.
So Everton, Leeds, and Aston Villa.
Yes, Gerrard and Lampard both dispatched in 1 week, dude. I was
This is amazing. Before we talk about the amazing part of it, Kieran Trippier. Oh man, why? He'll be out for at least 8 to 10 weeks.
Yeah, I mean,
so he's going to miss on the podcast I was listening, he is going to miss about 6 league games, and if their 2 remaining games which were postponed, if they also get scheduled in the next 8 weeks, he's going to miss about 8 league games. That is a lot.
Yeah, let's hope no, actually, I don't want to hope a new variant of COVID, but yeah, the danger is that where do even the goals come from? He scored 2 free kicks. He's a very important member of the attacking team, not only the defense. If he was only a good defender, then we would have somehow managed to hold fort. But his crosses, his set pieces are so vital.
Yeah, and if that was not enough, Javier Manquillo, he's also injured for 2 weeks. So the Trippier's backup is also injured for 2 weeks.
Right.
So you think someone's cursing our dear club?
Oh, the entire world is against us. So I'm sure a few witch doctors somewhere have been employed.
Do you think our sheikhs believe in the Shuddhikaran Puja?
Oh man. Sure.
Okay, one more point in Newcastle. No, actually, I'll bring it up later. Let's take a break right now. After the break, let's talk about players who have impressed us during the week and the games we are seeing on the weekend. We are recording on a Wednesday night. So I think in about an hour, there is Inter versus Liverpool as well.
Yeah.
What's your prediction, Yash? I think Inter is going to get some ass whooping.
Yeah. Liverpool blow them away.
All right. Okay, on that note, let's take a break and stay tuned to Football Twaddle.
Hey everybody, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On Advertising is Dead, Varun is in conversation with Vedant Lamba, sneakerhead and founder of the Main Street Marketplace. Vedant shares how his vlogging routine led to the creation of his sneaker company. On Shunya One, Sheila Dattya and I are joined by Taran Chabra, founder of Neiman's. We talked to him about how he started the shoe company and built a value-driven brand. On Big Talk About Tiny Humans, Devi Shobha and Meghna share a 4-step guideline for talking to children about death. On Say No to Drama, Chetna drops some truth bombs about the happily ever after of life post the wedding. And on Hanswani, hear the story of Us Bheed Mein Wo Kaun Tha. It details the tragic story of the laborers who had to migrate their villages on foot during the pandemic in 2020. Do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you're enjoying this show or any of our others for that matter, please do tell a friend. Don't forget to rate us on any other platforms that you're listening to us, whether it's a rating, whether it's a review, it all helps. And do remember to check us out on YouTube. We have a number of channels. They're available on ivmpodcast.com/YouTube. And finally, I would like to thank our sponsors this week, Bank of Baroda, CoinSwitch, Kuber, and HDFC Life Insurance. Thank you so much for making this possible.
Hello, welcome back to Football Twaddle. Let's jump straight into it. Yash, who is your player of the week?
I think I have to go with Trippier because of that bullet free kick.
But that took a deflection. Come on, think of someone else. Don't be lazy.
Who else was there?
Say Bruno Fernandes. No, it's been long. Didn't he score a great goal?
Yeah, but he missed a sitter as well. But it's okay. I'll say Ronaldo. I mean, it's been ages since I've seen a goal scored like that. So just for that.
What was his goal? What did he?
No, for United players, strikers don't score like that. I mean, United have had Lukaku and the likes.
But what did he score? Like, was it a spectacular goal?
Yeah, it was pretty spectacular. It was not worldly, but he received a stray ball in front of goal and beat 2 people and put it in the corner.
Okay, whatever. It seemed like a pretty straightforward goal then to me, or from the sound of it. Okay, my player of the week is Joelinton.
Nice.
Or a combination of Joelinton and Jonjo Shelby. So
the midfield duo from hell.
Dude, okay. I mean, let me be fair to them, and this is like in all seriousness, right? The club buys Bruno. the new Bruno.
Yes.
And he's the big superstar. He is not able to get into the team because Joelinton and Jonjo Shelby have upped their game over the last.
But with Trippier and his replacement gone, do you think our manager will push Joe Linton further behind and make him play right back?
No. Actually, Mankilo is a left back and Trippier is right. So both are, one is out for like 10 weeks, one is out for 2. So I don't know who they'll play, but I don't think Eddie Howe in the post match actually said that this is not how we want to play. It was a scrappy game, but this is something we need to do to get wins. So it's okay. But Jonjo and Joelinton, you can see they have actually upped their game so much that it's hard for Bruno. I mean, who the hell can say this sentence? Newcastle buy a player for 45 million pounds and keep him on the bench because he can't make it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good headache to have because it's the season is long. There'll be injuries. We'll need a lot of legs. So this is a good headache to have. It's a
yes,
good,
and
he can ease into the team, learn the way of playing football with the squad.
Oh, and Joelinton is also Brazilian, which I just discovered like 5 minutes ago. I didn't know. I thought Joelinton was an English player for some reason.
Yeah, his name is Joe.
I mean, not that, yeah.
And also ends with Ton. I mean, it's a very English sounding name. I'm with you with that.
Okay, so let me just. I've opened some stats of Joelinton, right? So his form under Eddie Howe is crazy, and leader of combined tackles and interceptions per 90 from the other 14 of the Premier League so far.
Wow.
And where is Joelinton? Yeah, Joelinton is right up there. He is number 3, 6.
Yeah.
He's number 7th in that.
So the stats back what we are seeing through our eyes that he's bossing with midfield.
Correct. And Jonjo,
yeah,
we used to make fun of Jonjo, and he is. Oh, it's amazing. It's only that. So I was reading one more thing about probability of relegation still, and this is what I think on the Twitter handle I run for the Newcastle fan. Yeah. I said that there is still a 38% probability that Newcastle will be relegated. So they really need to win some more. I mean, this is just crazy time. But if they pull it off, it's amazing. All right. Yes. So wait, yours is Cristiano Ronaldo and mine is a amalgamation of Joelinton and Jonjo Shelby.
Yeah.
Like a bald Joelinton. All right. What are you watching this weekend, buddy?
So this weekend, I am watching Manchester City versus Tottenham.
Oh, one more swooping for Conte on the way.
No, but I think a cheeky draw is on the cards here.
Really?
Yep.
Like why? Like is
there? No, it's just it can't get worse for Tottenham. So I don't think they have much to lose for here. This will be chalked on as an L when it comes to their top 4 aspirations and schedule. But I think Man City have played in the midweek against. They thrashed Sporting, but Spurs have had a rest. They have a couple of decent players. So yeah.
Hey, I heard Raheem Sterling started scoring goals again.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's about time. The thing about City, I've seen this every season. This is the time when they peak around January and all. And which is precisely the reason why they have only won one FA Cup and haven't won the Champions League so far. Because I can't say they run out of this team because they literally have 2 teams. But I don't know. There is some loss of intensity at the back end of the season in most seasons. So Sterling scoring a bunch of goals, it's just it was about time.
Okay. Oh, and in 10 days time the Carabao Cup final as well.
Yeah.
It's Chelsea versus Liverpool.
Would be a good game.
I thought for some reason I was thinking it was Arsenal versus Liverpool. Anyway, the game I am going to watch is Crystal Palace versus Chelsea.
Ooh.
I mean, Chelsea is playing Premier League after ages. I don't know.
And it will be a tough challenge. I mean, Vieira is doing good stuff at Crystal Palace.
Okay, if you say so. I mean, Chelsea has their own challenges. On that note, before we give our predictions, Champions of the World, World Cup, the tournament no one wanted to watch.
Yeah. And
somehow Chelsea.
No wonder Lukaku scored.
Who did he score against? Some Al Hilal,
I just know that a bunch of people are shouting Lukaku on on the WhatsApp group. So I just assumed that this is going to be this useless tournament.
No, but he scored only in the semi-final. In the final, they took this game also to the extra time. It was such a
Then who scored the winner?
Kai.
Oh, nice.
Then I saw a Twitter thread. Do you know the new thing of giving motivational Twitter threads on So it seems
By whom?
Ajkal now on Twitter,
Anyway.
everyone has a thread.
Content creator.
Yeah, on everything.
No, I thought some player or someone.
Like Nadal, what can we learn from Nadal's 21st Grand Slam? Here are top 10 things we've learned from his career, like that. So supposedly this is a thing nowadays. I don't know for other clubs, but regarding Chelsea, I was reading this thread.
Right.
So Aspi won the penalty or something. I didn't watch the game. But then he just looks at Kai and he says, "You're taking the penalty, right?" And Kai says, "Yes." But Aspi holds the ball and the Brazilian players are like surrounding, creating ruckus and all of that. And basically trying to distract or get Aspi's concentration off.
Right.
But Aspi is basically just holding the ball, pretending like he's taking it. And then he finally places the ball. And then Kai comes in and no one's bothered about Kai till then. So after all the commotion sets in, then finally Kai shows up and he scores the goal. But why did Chelsea do that? Because in 2012, Yash, when they went to the Club World Cup, they played the same team.
Oh.
And those guys did the same things. And the guy who was about to take the penalty for Chelsea missed it.
Oh dear.
So they've learned from their lessons.
Wow.
What does it mean? Yash, like what is the moral you've taken from this story?
In 2030, Chelsea will again play Palmeiras in the World Club Championship, and that Kai will take the ball but not take the penalty.
That is the takeaway for you, according to Neil Warnock on TalkSport. He said, "I don't think Azpilicueta is any great player. He's just a lucky guy." So yeah, that's the story. Anyway, so what are your predictions again? You said for the Spurs and
I think 1-1 draw. Man City.
1-1. Okay, I'm seeing what Crystal Palace Chelsea, right? A solid 3-1 win for Chelsea.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, even I don't support them that much, but then I think I actually don't support them, but I moved on. But there's some residual lover feelings.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. On that note, yes.
Right. Bye-bye.
And bye-bye. Take care. And take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Eventually, you'll see the end of your childhood.
Get accustomed to womanhood.
Enjoy the experience of sisterhood.
Might get to wifehood.
Or not. Choose motherhood.
Or not. You'll learn to define your personhood.
Earn a livelihood.
Change the neighborhood.
And get rid of the falsehood that life post-academia is easy.
So join me, Ritasha.
And me, Ayushi.
On a journey from station starting point.
To station, what now?
Next station, Pudin station. And hopefully, Agla station, adulthood.
Fresh episodes out every Thursday.
सफर, रास्ते, मंजिल और मुकाम अक्सर ये हमसे कुछ कहना चाहते हैं, पर हम हैं कि अपनी रोजमर्रा की जिंदगी में इन्हें सुनने से कतराते हैं। नमस्ते दोस्तों, मेरा नाम है केशव चतुर्वेदी और मैं आपको ले चलूंगा कुछ ऐसे सफर पर जहां आपको एक नया नजरिया मिलेगा सफर और मंजिलों को देखने का। आइए इन किस्से कहानियों में डूब जाएं। हर मंगलवार और शुक्रवार